Hey loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be discussing some of my top Netflix picks. I did this video quite a while ago, I think like last summer, but I've watched a lot of new shows since then, and I'm always ranting and raving about these shows that I am watching, and I just decided to go ahead and just make a list so you all can check them out. This list is in no particular order, I just wrote it down. And yeah, so let's get started. So the first show that I'm going to talk about, everybody's talking about it right now, is 7 Seconds. First thing I'm going to say, if you have not seen this show, or if you're one of those people that just like things to not be in hype before you go and watch it, trust me, take the time out of your week and just sit down and watch it. I think I watched it in 2 days, to be very real with you, and I'm actually rewatching it now because my husband started watching it. But this show is really good. Just a quick thing about it, the show is basically about how a cop kills a young boy, and we basically see both sides. We see what the cop is going through and how he's trying to make his way out of this, and then we see what the family of the child that was hit is going through. It's a lot, and I think that they covered everything very well and very accordingly. I know some people were upset at the ending because of how it ended. Not that it wasn't good, but just, I'm not trying to give y'all hints, but just how everything turned out, and I just wasn't surprised. With everything going on in this world, certain things just don't surprise me. The show is really, really good, and I expect it to win a couple of awards down the road, because there's no way somebody's going to watch the show and don't feel like it's the shit, okay? Anyways, the next show is Black Mirror. So Black Mirror is pretty much, how do I describe it? Every episode is a new story. So it's not like a series where, it is a series, but it's not one of those things where it's like a continuing story throughout the whole season or anything like that. It's different stories with each episode. My friend actually told me to watch it, and I'm like, I don't know. She's like, no, give it a chance. It's really good. Some episodes are way better than the other, but it's still good. One of my favorite episodes, I'm gonna give y'all a little quick spoiler. One of my favorite episodes was, I think, in season 4, and it was basically talking about how I took it was how social media is taking over the world and how social media impacts people's lives. And I just sat there like, okay, this is legitimate. It's really good. It's a really good show. It really has you thinking about a lot of things, and yeah, definitely check it out. My third favorite show is Parenthood. Honestly, I just rewatched Parenthood for the second time, and I absolutely love this show. I think this is probably one of my top favorite shows ever that I've ever watched. Parenthood follows the family, the Braverman family. So it's Zeke Braverman and Camille Braverman. These are the parents, the grandparents of the whole family. And then it has their 4 children, Adam, what's her name? Adam, Sarah, Crosby, and what is her name? What is her name? Jesus Christ. For the life of me, I cannot remember the 4th person. Julia. Lord. Adam, Sarah, Crosby, and Julia. It's their children, and then they have children as well. So it follows them, and it talks about a lot of things that people go through in their normal lives. Some of the topics that they discuss on the show: divorce, dating, grandparenthood, great-grandparenthood, teenage pregnancy, abortion, cancer. Everything that people go through in their normal lives have happened to this family, and I just love this show. It also talks about interracial relationship and marriage and all of that. So if you have not seen Parenthood, I highly recommend it. The last episode definitely had me crying. There were a couple of episodes that really had me crying, but the last one for sure just had me boo-hooing. So if you have not seen Parenthood, definitely go and check it out. The next one is One Day at a Time, and this is a Netflix original show. One Day at a Time originally started as a show that was on TV about 30-40 years ago. It's a Norman Lear show, and they just changed it up and made it into a Hispanic show, and I really like it. So this show follows a Army vet who is now trying to start over. Her and her husband are recently separated, so her mother, and her 2 kids, her daughter and her son, are living together, and they are just trying to get through life one day at a time. And it's funny, but then it also has it's funny, but then it also talks about day-to-day things, about how people get through lives. And you know, obviously it's talking about separation, it talks about citizenship, all those things. And it's funny, y'all. Like, I literally would sit there and just start dying laughing. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do that. My number 5 pick is Gilmore Girls. Now, I used to have a neighbor and we were cool, and she used to be obsessed with this show, especially back then when it was still on. And I mean, she would get me to try to watch it, but it was already too late. I never really knew the stuff. And y'all know back then on TV, nobody really like binge TV. Binging is now a new thing now that we have like Netflix, Hulu, and all of that. So I recently started watching it and I'm just like, yes, I'm stuck. I love Gilmore Girls because it kind of reminds me of me and my mom. My mom was a single parent, and after we left Jersey and moved to Maryland, it was just really me and my mom. So I really like, I felt a connection to this show, and it was really good. I will say that I did watch the revival that came on Netflix. Number 1, it was good and it kind of answered some questions, but I feel like they missed out a lot on the revival. And then number 2, when are y'all gonna bring it back? Like, I know some people are saying it's probably not gonna come back because as you all know, Rory, who's one of the Gilmore Girls, she's actually on this new show on Hulu called The Handmaid's Tale. So likelihood of that coming back right now is slim, and I'm just like, then why even bring it back? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like the way they ended the revival just wasn't good. But the original series was great. I feel like everybody should check it out. It's a great coming of age story, and if you haven't seen Gilmore Girls, definitely check it out. My next pick is Grace and Frankie. I absolutely love this show. I'm so happy that they started it. I feel like this show is for people of all ages. Grace and Frankie follows 2 women who are recently divorced, and I'm not gonna tell too much about that, but they're recently divorced and they're living together, and they are complete opposite. These ladies are in their 70s, I believe. They're completely opposite, and they're just getting through life and trying to start life completely over. You've been married for years, you've had your kids, now you're divorced, getting back into the dating scene, and yeah, it's absolutely hilarious as well. I didn't think it would be something that I would find interesting, just because, no offense, just because it was older ladies. So I didn't know if it would really appeal to my age group, but I think this is a show for all ages. Definitely check this out. Next is She Gotta Have It. So I actually watched this back during Thanksgiving when it first came out. If you haven't realized this by now, I am a binger. I actually like to sit and, well, I actually like to sit and play it on my iPad, and while I'm doing some work or whenever I have in between time before I go to sleep, this is when I watch these shows. But I actually watched She Gotta Have It back during Thanksgiving. I think it was right around the time that it came out, and it's really good. I will say it's a little bit risque, so if you don't like risque shows, I would kind of just not watch it, but it's good. How do I put it? She Gotta Have It is basically about a woman, I want to say trying to find herself, but yet trying to have fun. So again, if you're not into the whole risque thing, I would not watch it. But if you don't mind that type of stuff, go ahead and check it out. She's very open to her sexuality. That's pretty much the best way to sum it up. But yeah, it's a good show. I liked it a lot. Next is 13 Reasons Why. And this show is very, very deep. I know some people were kind of like against it, saying that it kind of promotes teenage suicide or it promotes suicide, and I don't think that way when I watched it. I thought that was I think the way that they portrayed the show was really, really good. I didn't expect to see the outcome. If you've already seen it, you already know what I'm talking about. I didn't expect to see that, and when I saw it, I was crying, and I was just like, whoa, this is deep. It was just really deep, and it just kind of shows how, number one, how deep high school is. I've talked about this before. High school can be a very rough place. And then it just talks about how people go through things, and if they don't feel like they have that support system you know, it can turn the other way. So I watched it and I really appreciated it. I cannot wait to see season 2. I don't know what they're gonna do, how it's gonna be. You know, I kind of feel like they went through everything in season 1, but I don't know. I'm just curious to see how this is going to turn out. So that is the end of my Netflix pick. If you've seen any of these shows, comment down below. If you recommend any other shows, definitely check it out. And I have seen some other shows, but I just felt like these were my top ones. These were the ones that I would definitely recommend to other people as well. Anyways, you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.